So guys, today we've got an exclusive look at the world's first Samsung Galaxy Note 8 clone. I'm really trying to improve the quality of videos on this channel, so if you could support me by subscribing, that would mean the world to me. And with that being said, let's get started. So considering the leaked images of the Galaxy Note 8 only came out about a month ago, and that the phone is releasing well ahead in autumn 2017, the guys working on this piece of kit have done a very fast job. Now the packaging here doesn't have quite the same finesse or quality that the Galaxy S8 clones did, but nonetheless it looks pretty convincing. It's based off what we saw with the S7 and the Note 7, the actual phones last year, but it has the updated specifications of the expected Galaxy Note 8. Apart from, as you might notice, the supposed 5.7-inch screen. Now considering the S8 was 5.8 inch, it seems very unlikely the Note 8 will be that size, and more likely either 6.2 or 6.4 inches. So getting inside this guy, I have to say I really do appreciate the effort they've gone to. Whilst it doesn't have the same finesse, that same sort of beautiful matte finish that perhaps the originals do, it nonetheless does feel convincing, and I think to the untrained eye could actually fool them. And they've also gone as far as to put an official Samsung Smart Care sticker on there. I wonder if they'd actually respond if you tried to claim something. So taking off the outside sleeve, we've got the main box itself, which to be honest in the hand feels pretty sturdy. We've got a magnetic flap, and opening that up for some reason reveals the phone insert above anything else. We'll put that to the side, and then we've got the Galaxy Note 8 phone itself, which we'll come back to in just a moment. So first we've got the quick start guide, which actually has the code on it for the Galaxy Note 7, which is a pretty curious omission. Considering they've gone to the effort to actually create a fake manual, I'm surprised they didn't just stick the expected Note 8 code on. A nice addition this time round as opposed to the S8 clone is we've now got USB Type-C. So this does mean faster data transfer, as well as potentially faster charging. And just next to that, we've got a pair of earphones, which may look like noise cancelling, but don't be fooled. I've given these a go, and they are potentially the worst pair of earphones I've ever tried. But nonetheless, you have to give it to them. The attention to detail is still there, just as much as it is for the rest of the packaging. They do look like the real deal, and so as far as this package is concerned, that's all they really needed to do. And last but not least, we've got a SIM ejector tray. So, taking a look at the smartphone itself, one of the first things I noticed was that's nowhere near as big as the Note 8 is expected to be. And to be honest, yes, that's true, and yes, it's probably more of a manufacturing limitation than anything else. Nonetheless, it does have the expected physical features of the Note 8, so let's get onto that in just a little bit. But the first thing is, it's a really heavy piece of kit. Probably 1.5 times as heavy as you'd expect it to be, given its size. Now something that really caught me off guard is how beautiful that finish is. This is based off the coral blue colour we saw on the Note 7 last year, and it really is stunning. It feels pretty high quality, but does attract a few more fingerprints than I would have liked. So flipping the phone over, we also have an S Pen. Apparently. I mean, I nearly snapped my fingernail trying to get it out, but that's beside the point. It actually does look pretty convincing. It's made in a way that makes it ergonomic as well as believable to hold in the hand, but unfortunately it just doesn't have any of the wizardry of the original. And we've also got a button there which doesn't really do anything. So flipping the phone around, it does look like what we're expecting the Galaxy Note 8 to look like. Kind of like the S8, just a little bit boxier. It does have a fingerprint scanner there, but unfortunately that is entirely non-functional. Now, given the other manufacturing limitations put on this phone, you're probably not entirely surprised to find that this does not have an Infinity display. Quite the opposite, we're working with a 5.5-inch 720p panel, which is about as bare bones as you can get in this day and age. And to be honest, the screen doesn't stand out in any way whatsoever. It's got pretty muted colours and a pretty dim level of contrast. But this is interesting. Putting the Galaxy Note 8 clone next to the original Galaxy S8 Plus, that'll give you a pretty good idea of what the actual Galaxy Note 8 will look like. It'll have pretty much the size dimensions of the S8 Plus, but have the boxy design that we're seeing on this Note 8 clone. And of course the Infinity display, which makes the bezels roughly equivalent to what we've seen on the S8 Plus. So delving into the software, it's actually a really good effort. Like a really good effort. When I originally took a look at the Galaxy S8 clone, I was so impressed with the software. They not only managed to imitate what was going on with TouchWiz almost flawlessly, but they also managed to predict a lot of the details of the real Galaxy S8 without them being finalized. So with the new Note 8 clone, they've also refined some of the animations and added in some pretty new wallpapers which I've never seen before, but almost look like something we could expect from Samsung themselves. Pretty cool. So this is going to sound ridiculous, but it ended up taking me something like 20 minutes to actually find the real specifications of this smartphone. nowhere on the product page, and nowhere in the actual software of the smartphone does it actually show you. Even running an Antutu benchmark and clicking on the info tab, it'll tell you that we've got a QHD display and a Snapdragon 835, which couldn't be further from the truth. This is not a powerful phone. It's just about got enough to be able to flick through the UI, and in that sense it does its job pretty well, but doing much more than that at all, and you'd be stretching it too far. So after downloading third-party camera analysis software, I found that the sensor here is 5 megapixels. And I mean, there's really not that much more to say about it. The colours are very washed out, the detail is not very good, and the shutter time is also slow, so there's plenty of blur in your photos. It's kind of curious because for some reason they've downgraded the camera since the original Galaxy S8 clones. Maybe that's to speed up the process of production, I'm not really sure, but nonetheless, it's a pretty poor effort. So guys, that's the Note 8 clone. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the real Galaxy Note 8, plenty of coverage coming on that phone very soon. So guys, if you did enjoy the video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. That would really make a lot of difference to me. Also, I've put together a playlist of all my smartphone reviews, so if you are interested in looking at more cool smartphones, probably a lot of ones that you haven't heard of, be sure to click the card at the end screen. With that being said, I'm Mr. Who's the Boss, and I'm signing out.